Only the East India Company was allowed to sell tea to the colonies. The Tea Act meant the colonists had to buy their tea from the East India Company. They could either pay the tax on tea or not drink tea at all. Many colonists decided to boycott tea. Ships carrying thousands of pounds of tea set sail for the colonies. In late November 1773, 3 of the ships reached Boston. Against the wishes of many colonists, the Massachusetts governor let the ships dock. Many people think Samuel Adams planned what happened next. On the night of December 16, 1773, about 150 members of the Sons of Liberty, dressed as members of the Mohawk tribe, and marched down the harbor. At the harbor, hundreds of people were gathered on the docks to watch. When members of the Sons of Liberty arrived, they boarded the ships, broke open more than 300 chests of tea, and threw the tea overboard. Their angry protest became known as the Boston Tea Party.
All rise for the Honorable Judge John Jay. Please be seated. Case number 121611773. Good afternoon. Today we are trying the case of the British India Tea Company versus the Sons of Liberty. The British India Tea Company is charging the Sons of Liberty with destruction of property and illegal trespassing. Prosecution, you may address the jury with your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is James Phillips. I am here today to accuse Samuel Adams and the Sons of Liberty guilty of theft. They dressed as Mohawk Indians and dumped 342 chests of tea into the harbor. Why would they camouflage themselves to be unrecognizable unless they were doing something horrific or terrible? Someone must pay for all that tea, and that someone is Samuel Adams. Since when is it okay to destroy something that isn't yours? What would our lives be like without laws and rules? Shall I come into your home and take your food and your bed and expect no punishment? I hope you find Samuel Adams and the Sons of Liberty guilty of theft and vandalism. Thank you, Your Honor.
Defense, you may address the jury with your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a case about theft. This is not a case about taking something that isn't yours. This is not a case about vandalism because nothing on the ship was damaged. This is a case about freedom. This is a case about liberty and respect. Can you put a price on freedom? Can you put a price on men being free? Can you put a price on men living with their God-given rights to have self-government and the choice of assembling? Can you put a price on the right to a trial by jury of their peers? What does your freedom cost? What's your life worth? What's your happiness worth? Can you put a price on that? Then tell me. Samuel Adams did not ask for the tea. Fine colonists in Boston did not ask for your Majesty's tea to be here. It's been 16 long years of a fight to have what should have been ours from the very beginning. We are the men who came here for a better life. We are the men who took the risk. We are the men who felt so strongly about our beliefs and liberties that we came here to have what we could not have in England. This is not a case about theft. This is a case about trying to finally get the King's and Parliament's attention. This is a case about being heard and being respected. Can you put a price on that? No vandalism occurred to either of the 3 ships. Nothing was stolen. The tea was not taken. It was calmly put in the harbor because we had no representation in Parliament. We were not respected nor listened to by your Majesty in Parliament. We did only what had to be done to get their attention. We did what we had to do for freedom. A price cannot be put on that. You will find Samuel Adams and the Sons of Liberty not guilty. Thank you. Will the prosecution please call the first witness to the stand?
The prosecution calls Ashley Eden to the stand.
Witness, please approach the bailiff.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please be seated.
Prosecution, you may approach your first witness.
Thank you. Please state your name for the jury.
I'm Ashley, and I work for the British Tea Company.
Do you consider this an attack on your property?
Yes, I do. They destroyed my property and should be punished for it.
Do you think they planned this raid?
Yes, because they did everything in order. It was a very well thought and planned event. I believe this was planned for many days.
Do you consider this a theft?
Yes, the company I work for supplied them with the tea and we were never paid for the good.
Did this hurt your company?
Yes, it cost us a lot of money.
No further questions.
Defense, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where were you at on December 16th, 1773? I was inspecting the ship to make sure it had not been disturbed.
Well, then who was on the boat with you?
Over 100 people dressed as Mohawk Indians.
Actually, how much of the ship was damaged? None? Is it true that they swept the docks and never finished?
Yes, it was true.
Was any of the men hurt?
No, not even a scratch on any of the ship's crew.
I'm going to attack. It doesn't sound like an attack to me.
Objection. The counsel is badgering the witness.
Sustained.
Here's one of the questions, Ron.
Does the prosecution have any further questions for this witness?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution, should you please call your next witness to the stand. Thank you, witness. May leave the stand. Prosecution, please call your next witness to the stand.
Prosecution calls Richard Honeyman to the stand.
Witness, please approach the bailiff.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please be seated.
Prosecution, you may approach your second witness.
Please state your name for the jury.
I'm Richard Hudson. I was a sailor on the Dartmouth.
And the Dartmouth was another of the three ships raided on that dreadful night, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you explain to the jury what happened that night?
I thought they were real Indians. They scared me half to death. I thought they were really going to kill me. I was so scared for my life. When they came on the ship, they were carrying axes and hatchets. Who wouldn't think they were going to hurt us? They started making
Can
demands.
you explain how these Indians look?
Oh yes, feathers, face painted in ways that it would scare anyone, and lots of yelling.
You would consider the planned attempt to be physical harm, correct?
Yes.
Again, Mr. Honeyman, just so I make sure I understand, you thought these men were going to harm you?
Yes, I ran for my life and never looked back. It wasn't until the next day that I learned the selfish crime that they had committed.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
You said you were scared for your life. Isn't that exaggeration? No. Mr. Honeyman, when you said you were scared and running for your life, you were on a ship. Just how far could you run? Yes, you are exaggerating the truth. Is there a question in that statement? Forgive me. I am frustrated with the lies. Your Honor, I'll redirect. Sons of Liberty dressed like Indians with colored feathers and face paint. They were happy and laughing and talking amongst themselves. They were in their regular English clothes other than their feathers. You had no cause to be fearful, did you? Well, maybe not. Were these men carrying any weapons? No. Well, they did have axes. Wasn't it obvious from the very beginning that the axes these men had resting on their shoulders were merely tools to open the chest of tea?
Well, it could be.
Did any of these men threaten you in any way?
No.
Did these men damage or vandalize any of the three ships? No. Did these men take anything from any of the ships other than the tea?
Not that I'm aware of.
Isn't it true that you only said you were fearful for your life because you are loyal to the king and not the colonists' desire for freedom?
Well, maybe.
Your Honor, no further questions.
Does the prosecution have any further questions for this witness?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, witness. You may leave the stand. Prosecution, please call your next witness to the stand.
The prosecution calls Diana Newman.
Witness, please approach the bailiff.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please be seated.
Prosecution, you may approach your third witness.
Miss Newman, some deliveries on all your tea in the harbor, which cost you how much money?
About 92,000 pounds.
How much tea did your company lose?
45 tons of tea, which is 342 chests of tea wasted.
What will happen if the tea is paid for by the selfish man who chose to dump the tea in the harbor? But for what reason?
We'll lose so much money, my company might have to shut down.
Your Honor, no further questions.
Defense, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Who ordered the 3 ships with 342 chests of tea to be sent to the city of Boston?
Our East India Tea Company has been sending tea to the colonists for decades. This is nothing new.
You didn't answer the question. Did the colonists in Boston or any of the searching colonists ask for the tea to be sent here?
No, the tea was ordered by His Majesty in the East India Tea Company.
So it was all about profit.
What did you expect the colonists to drink? All Englishmen love their tea.
I bet that they did drink that tea. They chose independence and freedom and the right to govern themselves over the comfort of their favorite drink. They didn't ask for the tea to be sent here, so it wasn't their responsibility to protect it. Your Honor, no further.
Does the prosecution have any further questions for this witness?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, witness. You may leave the stand. Prosecution, please call your next witness to the stand.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
Defense, please call your first witness to the stand.
The defense calls Francine Roch.
Witness, please approach the bailiff.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please be seated.
Defense, you may approach your first witness.
State your name. Miss Francine Roch, the owner of the 2 ships, Dartmouth and the Beaver.
Mrs. Roch, state your name with the ships.
I am the owner of the 2 of the 3 ships that docked to Boston for goods from Britain.
Were you aware that people of Boston were unhappy with your ships being docked?
Yes, I was not given the right to unload my ships. The deadline to pay the tax was due by December 16, 1773.
And this kept you in Boston?
Yes, I cannot return to England without my payment. If I attempted to leave my ships, they may have been attacked by British warships. You see, I could not leave the harbor without a pass from the governor of Boston.
Did you try to get a pass?
Yes, I was denied the pass.
Who asked you to get one?
The Sons of Liberty.
So what you are saying is they peacefully tried to send the tea back?
Well, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor. Prosecution, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Roch, you were hired to ship tea for the British Tea Company, correct?
Yes.
Well then, why didn't you get paid?
The tea tax was never paid, and all the tea was dumped into the harbor.
This hurt your company, correct?
Yes.
Were you on the ship during the attack?
Yes.
Did you decide to help the colonists, or did you decide to try to stop them?
I helped them.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the defense have any further questions for this witness?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, witness. You may leave the stand. Defense, please please call your second witness to the stand.
The defense calls Governor Hutchinson.
Witness, please approach the bailiff.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, I do.
Please be seated.
Defense, you may approach your second witness.
State your name for the jury.
I am Thomas Hutchinson, the governor of Boston, Massachusetts.
Who allowed the ships to dock?
Well, I allowed this to happen.
Did you know that the people did not want the tea?
Well, yes, I knew it. They were very boisterous, not wanting to pay the taxes on the tea.
You didn't listen to the citizens, did you?
No, I felt...
No. The answer was no, you didn't. And Governor Hutchinson, when the Sons of Liberty asked for the pass to allow the shipment to be sent back to Britain, you denied their request.
I felt it was.
No. Answer the questions, yes or no. Did you deny their request?
Yes.
Does this not show that they tried to peacefully send the tea back?
Well, I guess it does.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why did the Sons of Liberty dress up like Native Americans?
They did to prove a point. They knew what they were doing was wrong, and they didn't want to be noticed.
Did you know this was going to happen, or did you find out during the rain?
No, I found out while it was happening.
Why did you not grant the pass so the ships could leave the docks?
It was my duty to uphold the laws.
Why do you think they did this?
To prove a point, and I think it was wrong.
Do you feel that what these men did was a senseless act of theft and vandalism?
Yes, I mean, it definitely is an act of theft and vandalism.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the defense have any further questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Why didn't you send the tea back?
It was my job.
Is it not your job to listen to the needs of your people?
Objection, Your Honor.
Amen! Finally get some respect around here.
Order by order. That's your first warning. Sustain. Thank you, witness. You may leave the stand. Defense, please call your next witness to the stand.
Defense holds the defendant Samuel Adams.
Witness, please approach the bailiff.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please be seated.
Defense, you may approach your witness.
Where were you December 16, 1773?
I was in Boston, Massachusetts.
Mr. Adams, the Sons of Liberty are accused of you dumping tea and you ruining the boats.
Yes, but none of the boats were destroyed.
Do you think the Sons of Liberty were trying to make a point?
Yes, I think they were trying to make a point that we didn't want the tea, and we even asked for it to be sent back, and the government would not grant the pass needed to leave the harbor.
Did your people tell Britain that they didn't want the tea, but they sent it anyway?
Yes, we strictly told Britain we did not want the tea, but they sent it anyway.
So Britain made you buy goods from that man only then?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why did you disguise yourself if you said you were doing something right?
We would have severe punishments.
Tax on tea was cheaper than other taxes, yet you still took the tea. Why?
We were trying to make a point.
Why would you want to hurt British tea company?
I'm not loyal to the British king. I do not owe him loyalty when he does not allow us representation in Parliament.
Would you expect someone that came into your home and destroyed your belongings to be punished?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
the defense have any further questions for this witness?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, witness. You may leave the stand. Defense, please call your next witness to stand.
The defense rests.
Thank you, attorneys, for presenting your witnesses to the court. Now, would the prosecution please address the jury with your closing statement? Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, for listening so intensely to the evidence presented here today. You have heard several witnesses that say they saw Mohawk Indians on the ship and that they dumped 342 chests of tea into the harbor. The selfish men admitted they took something that was not theirs and destroyed it. Isn't this the definition of theft? Isn't this the definition of guilt? I actually believe this was an easy trial because the men admitted that they had done what they had done. All of the evidence proves that they are guilty of breaking the law and must be held accountable for their actions and punished. Thank you, Your Honor.
Defense, please address the jury with your closing statement.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, for listening so closely to the evidence presented here to you today. You heard several witnesses who saw the tea party with their own two eyes, and even some of the men who took part in it. These young men, dressed as Mohawk Indians, admitted what they had done because they are not ashamed of doing what had to be done to ensure freedom and independence. They never asked for the tea. They felt no responsibility to protect Your Majesty's tea. The East India Company did not care about the colonists' fight for freedom, but only about their pocketbooks and profit. The colonists did nothing to deserve Britain's harsh treatment. The colonists should not have to pay to be free. I hope you find the Sons of Liberty not guilty of theft and vandalism. I trust that you will make the right decision. Please remember, this is not a trial about tea, but rather a fight for the rights of the men that should have been theirs by their birthright, by simply being born. They deserve freedom and respect. Please don't take that away from them. The Sons of Liberty are not guilty. The prosecutor has not shown these men to be guilty. Therefore, you must find them not guilty. You must do the right thing, and I trust that you will. Thank you.
Jury, this is your time to leave the courtroom and deliberate over the facts you were presented with today. As you heard, the British India Tea Company is charging the Sons of Liberty with destruction of property and illegal trespassing. Your job is to decide if that charge is warranted beyond a reasonable doubt. Bailiff, please dismiss the jury.
After listening to the evidence presented in the courtroom today, we find the Sons of Liberty to be not guilty. Even though Samuel Adams and the Sons of Liberty were never really put on trial, when word got back to England, Parliament and King George became very angry and decided to punish the Massachusetts colony. Parliament wanted to prove that the colonies needed to obey the laws. Parliament passed a new law called the Intolerable Acts. This act said no ship carrying colonial goods could enter or leave Boston Harbor until Massachusetts colony paid for all the tea that was destroyed. Parliament ordered the Royal Navy to set up a blockade in the Boston Harbor. The blockade prevented supplies from entering the harbor. It also prevented Massachusetts merchants from selling their goods. As another punishment, Parliament ordered the citizens of Massachusetts to quarter British soldiers. The colonists had to either pay for food and housing for the British soldiers or give them food and a place to sleep. King George also made General Thomas Gage the new governor of Massachusetts.